This Disney restaurant is often forgotten about, but should it be on your radar? Today, we are hanging out at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort to check out Maya Grill. This restaurant highlights traditional Mexican food in a unique setting with live music. We're gonna be trying a ton of food and drinks, and at the end, I'll let you know if you should visit Maya Grill. It is a beautiful day here in Orlando, so I figured what better way to spend it than heading over to Coronado. I actually just recently stayed club level here and it was amazing as always. But that got me thinking, it's been a while since I've dined at Maya Grill and I figured it was time for another visit. Now, I've only ever dined here once before and I remember really enjoying my meal. And since it's a spot that often gets forgotten about, I figured I'd bring you guys along. Guys, we have made our way inside and I have been instantly reminded why I really like this restaurant the first time around. It is so cozy in here. It's such a unique setting. It feels like you're really in a temple. And as I was being seated, they were telling me a little bit of the story, but honestly, I have a bad memory. I did forget. But luckily for me, it's on the menu. So I'm getting a brief synopsis here. There are 4 temples depicted in this room: a sun temple, a moon temple, a fire temple, and a water temple. And there's just a whole story. I really appreciate the storytelling, and it's kind of a very unique experience, you know? And I mean, while we're talking about the unique dining experience that is Maya Grill, I have to point out the live music. As soon as we were walking in, I was greeted by the guitarist? Is he playing a guitar? I don't really know, guys, but I don't think there's any other restaurant at Disney World that has live music, and I came to find out that they have live music here 7 days a week by the same person. That is dedication. He is playing here 7 days a week. It's just very tranquil in here, and now he's playing Disney music. This is just beautiful, but we're talking about the ambiance. Of course, we gotta talk about the beverages. We're in a Mexican restaurant. We need a margarita. And of course, a Mexican restaurant in Disney World is not short of margaritas or tequila in general. There are a ton of cocktails to choose from, some spirit-free ones as well, which actually sound pretty good. But there are so many, guys, including a margarita flight. Oh my gosh, I bet that's really good. $35 for 3 different margaritas. I might have to come back and try that out. But I think I'm just gonna go with one of them. They have a classic margarita, a prickly pear, this Piña del Sol, and of course the classic top shelf. But I hear this one here, the Piña del Sol, is like their best one, so I might go with that one. And while we're waiting for our margarita here, I did want to mention that this restaurant is actually operated by the same people that operate the restaurants inside of the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. So you can expect the same really great quality food and drinks that you get over there here at Maya Grill as well. And here it is. I am ready to kick off my meal with this Piña del Sol. This is a vibrant pineapple margarita made with mezcal and finished with a tahini rim. And you may be thinking to yourself, Kristen, that doesn't look like tahini, and you would be correct. That is because I am obsessed with the hibiscus salt that they use on their drinks in the Mexico Pavilion and here as well. So I had to change up the rim from tahini to hibiscus salt, my favorite. We'll see if it's like the menu hack of the century or not. Yeah, I could literally just drink this all day. What I love about this margarita here is the same thing that I really love about the margaritas in La Cava. It's not too sweet, which is perfect. I don't like sweet drinks, and it's also very strong. I'm becoming a huge fan of mezcal recently, probably because some of my friends are big mezcal fans, and I really think it works well paired with the pineapple. It's like a smoky pineapple margarita, but it's super smooth, and I would say maybe the hibiscus salt even goes better than the tahini would. I don't know, guys. I know a lot of people love tahini and stuff on drinks, but the hibiscus salt is just the way to go. This was honestly a great recommendation. I absolutely love it, but I have to take a break from drinking it because I need to look at some of this food here. We'll start with just the appetizers, and you'll see there's chips and salsa on the menu, queso chorizo fundido, a roasted poblano chowder, yum, some house guacamole, an ají tuna tostada, a beef birria macajete. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so apologies in advance. The chicken tinga flautas, and then there's also some salads, a Caesar and then a taco salad. One thing that you're probably noticing is that you do have to pay for chips and salsa here at Maya Grill. which is always a bit of a letdown. I love when chips and salsa is included with your meal at a Mexican restaurant. I feel like it should always be that way. But honestly, maybe that is a good thing that chips and salsa are not included, because every time chips and salsa are included in a meal, I go to town and I can't stop because I just love chips and salsa. So I'll be saving a little bit more room for like the food, and we're gonna be ordering a ton of food. I'm hearing that this menu changed pretty recently within the last couple of months, and they added some new dishes to the menu, including this birria here. I love birria, but I want to try some of this new food here. I've heard really good things about some of these new menu items, so we're gonna have to check them out. And I'm seeing some favorites that I've tried inside of the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot, like the chips and salsa. I love the chips and salsa here. I've also had, of course, their guacamole. I wonder if it's the same. It might be a little different though, because it has mango salsa on top of it. I've also tried something similar to this ají tuna tostada over at La Hacienda that I really, really liked. That looks like it might be a little bit different as well, but I kind of wanted to focus on things that are completely new and completely unique to Maya Grill here. So we are going to stay away from those kind of things and try some of this new food. I'm definitely eyeing this birria, of course, and then this chowder sounds kind of good. I've been on a real soup kick lately. I think it's because I hang out with Sean and Nate too much, and Sean and Nate, if you don't know, are like massive soup people. All they want to do when we're like planning to go out to eat, they're like, where can we get soup? That's the question always. So I have in turn turned into a soup person. So I like trying all the different soups around Disney World too. So I'm interested in that. But first we have this beef birria machete here, and I have confirmed that is how you pronounce it now. This has slowly braised beef barbacoa stuffed in an heirloom yellow corn machete, filled with Oaxaca and Chihuahua cheese, topped with onions and cilantro, served with a side of birria broth for $15. Well, guys, having never heard of machete before, this looks like a giant birria taco, which is just perfect. I absolutely love birria, like I said, and we've got that fried crispy cheese on the outside that looks like it's just gonna be perfect with this dish. I don't know how to pick this up and eat this. Okay, so the outside, upon picking it up, I'm realizing this is not like fully a tortilla. It's more of like, I think they said it's like more of like a masa shell, so it's not like super crisp like a tortilla would get. It's more like soft, almost like a tamale from just what I'm feeling when I'm holding it. This is just so weird. I'm just holding like a giant birria taco, but I want to try a bite of this without any accoutrements first. Yeah, I mean, this is just really, really good, and it does kind of taste like a tamale on the outside. Not as like thick as a tamale, like the corn masa usually is. Definitely thinner, but the birria in there is so flavorful. It's super salty, but like the perfect amount of saltiness. Oh, this is like a really good savory bite. And like, guys, I don't know how to explain to you how large this thing is here. This dish is honestly so jam-packed with flavor already. It really doesn't need anything else, but I am gonna add a little hint of lime and go for a dunk in the consomme here, see if it makes it just even better. Absolutely, and look at the amount of meat in there. There's so much birria in there and a ton of that melty Oaxaca and Chihuahua cheese in there. This is really good. It's definitely a little bit different from just your typical birria taco, but I enjoy it honestly just as much. This thing is just jam-packed with flavor. The addition of that citrus and then that savory consomme really are a great addition to this dish here. I just love birria. It's honestly one of my favorite foods ever, and I don't get it enough. So every time I eat birria, I just get so happy. Like, I can't not smile while I eat birria. It's so good. And before we move on to entrees, I did order one more appetizer, that roasted poblano chowder that we were talking about earlier. This is a savory combination of roasted poblano peppers, sauteed rajas, spicy chorizo, and roasted corn, all in a creamy chowder finished with a drizzle of Mexican crema, crispy tlayuda strips, and a sprinkle of fresh cilantro. I love a good tableside presentation, especially when it comes to soup. And as she started pouring this soup, I could instantly smell the peppers. Not the spicy kind. Poblanos are a really nice spicy pepper, and the color doesn't look the most appetizing. It is a dark green, when I'm looking at it closer, it kind of does look like some salsa verde, because there's some chunks in there from the corn, but I want to try this out here. At first, it's almost like a creamy corn bisque or a creamy corn chowder. And then on the back end, then you get the heat from the poblanos. It's not overly spicy, but it's definitely leaving like a little bit of a smoky spiciness kind of in the back of my throat. I love it though. I love a good spice. So that is just perfect for me. This is a super creamy soup. It's also very rich and hearty. I like that they didn't kind of blend up all of that corn in there and they left the whole kernels. So you're not just eating, so you don't feel like you're just eating like slop, you know? Like you're getting a little bit of a bite with everything. The chorizo in there, it is getting a little bit lost. This is really good. If you like corn chowder or something like that, you'd love this. I want to eat it here with this little crispy chip that they've got. Honestly, that's amazing. This soup is so creamy. It's almost like a queso. Like it really gives a little queso vibes here. A spicy queso almost, but just thinner than typical queso, obviously. So it's really good with the, I think it's the tlayuda, which is, I'm assuming, like a fried crispy tortilla. But honestly, it's so good with the soup. I wish they gave you even more, because I would just be dunking away and eating all of this soup here. But yeah, I'm loving it. And as I was sitting here finishing up my appetizers, a mysterious espresso martini appeared on my table. So you know who you are. Thank you guys. So it looks like we're just gonna get to the dessert round right away here. This is the Tierra Fresca. It's a blend of rich espresso and smooth liqueur 43. It's a classic Spanish cocktail that's supposed to have a nice little undertone of vanilla, and this looks amazing. I didn't even know that this was on the menu. It's in kind of like this other menu, so I didn't even get a chance to look at it yet, and I'm so excited to try this. I didn't even know it was here. We've got that super thick foam. It looks amazing. This is incredible. I don't know if I would consider it much of an espresso martini though, because it does have ice in it and it's not necessarily served in an espresso martini glass. It's more of like a boozy coffee, but it is a damn good boozy coffee. The thick foam on top adds almost a creaminess to this drink here. It is super strong and bitter, which is perfect for me. That's exactly what I like. I definitely am getting a little bit of that vanilla. It's not super strong alcohol-wise, so it's very smooth and very easy to put back. Man, this is a good one here. Oh my gosh, guys, we have already tried so much good food and we haven't even hit the entrees yet, so let me show you what they've got here. Some of the mains include this mole braised beef short rib, which I believe is new and I've heard really great things about. A vegan harache, or a vegetarian, I believe this one is here. Oh, they have vegan as well, a vegan chorizo, so that's a good option if you do eat a plant-based diet. They have some Baja fish tacos. That sounds kind of good there. Chicken enchiladas. I had chicken enchiladas last time I dined at San Helen, so I don't think I'm going to get these. They also have this osobuco al pastor. Sounds great. A catch of the day. And if we move over to the side here, you'll see the classics, the fajitas, as well as a quesadilla. And then up here are some family style options. So they have this like kind of mixed grill that they could do for 2 or for 4 people. And then they also have a shareable carne asada for 2 that costs $80. Both of those family style options sound like a pretty good deal. I mean, if you get the one for 2, it's $40 a piece. And then if you get the mixed grill for 4 people, that's $140. That comes out to $35 a piece. So for an entree here at a Disney restaurant, $35 a piece is pretty good. And then another thing to highlight with the entrees on this menu is that this is the only place at Disney World that you can get fajitas. My good friend Promise always loves coming to the Maya Grill and getting fajitas. She is a fajita addict, and I know she's made a bunch of videos on them. I think she made one recently as well, so you guys will have to go check out her channel. If you search Promise Hope or go to the description, I'll put her review for Maya Grill and those fajitas down below. Definitely go check that out, and I'm kind of eyeing these fish tacos or the short rib or the al pastor. I do love some al pastor. I might have to go with that. So here we have the osobuco al pastor. This is a tender braised pork osobuco ossobuco al pastor style, served over roasted corn nixtamasa, which I'm hearing is almost like grits or polenta, and then it's topped with a pastor sauce and pineapple salsa for $42. The chef came out to explain to me exactly kind of what this dish is supposed to mimic, and if you've ever been to like a taco stand or anything that serves al pastor tacos, you've seen that like roasting device. I don't know the specific term, so again, I'm very sorry for not knowing that, but they have like a roasting thing, and then they put the pork, the marinated pork around, and then there's some pineapple on top that they kind of cut off into your taco. So the corn grit polenta thing on the bottom is supposed to mimic a tortilla, and then of course you've got the ossobuco, which mimics the pork on the roasting pit. And then it's topped with the pineapple salsa, so it kind of mimics that, and honestly, I love that, and I'm so excited to try this out. Can you guys kind of see it now that I've explained it? So we've got the tortilla here, the meat on the stick, and then we've got the pineapple on top. I love it. Let's dig in. I'm hoping this pork is nice and tender. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I barely put any pressure on the fork, and it's just falling right apart there. Wow. That is super impressive. I could already tell you guys, I can't even pick it up with my fork because it's just like legit falling apart on the plate before I go to pick it up. That's crazy. I could smell it too. Similar to the soup, I've been able to just kind of like smell all of the flavor as soon as I cut into this, man, you could just smell how good this is about to be. Really good, thank you.
Have you had it before?
No, this is my first time having this. Yeah, it's really good. Oh my gosh, guys. Similar to the way it's melting on the fork, it just melts in your mouth. Wow, this is so good. Guys, I'm not kidding you. This is my favorite thing I've tried so far today, and everything has been good. This might be my favorite thing that I've tried in February so far. I eat a lot of food at Disney World, and this is one of the better ones for sure. All of the flavors work together harmoniously. It is spicy, it does have a kick, so if you do not like spice, I will say you probably will not like this dish. That spice is coming from the pastor sauce, and I always like warning people because I know a lot of people are very sensitive to spice. I know from firsthand because my mother is very sensitive to spice, but that pastor sauce adds just the perfect spice. I'm literally just like barely tapping this pork, and it's just melting off of the bone there. Oh my gosh. The pastor sauce is spicy. I'm almost starting to sweat a little bit, but I love it. And then you get that sweetness. Kind of once you get into it a little bit more, it is really, really nice. I want to try it with the corn polenta here. Now all together, a bite with everything. I love that pineapple salsa. The polenta is almost like mashed potato-y, kind of. No, it's not. It just tasted like that because I got it with the pastor. It does kind of taste like a mixture between grits and polenta. Did you get those little corn chunks in there? Man, I am just loving this dish here. I can only really think of one other pork dish at Disney World that I enjoy just as much as this. Maybe, you know what, this honestly might be better than that. Over at Storybook Dining, they have like a pork shank that's similar to this. It just kind of falls right off the bone. It's so tender. But I think this one, just the spice just does it for me. This is really fantastic, guys. Like, dang, you know that pork is good when you got a clean bone here. Let's see if this one will just pop right off. Yep, literally, oh my gosh, did you guys just see that? The meat just fell right off. That's crazy. I would come here to Maya Grill just for this, honestly. You guys, especially if you're staying here at Coronado, come check out Maya Grill and get this pork here. Well, I am definitely going to be taking the rest of that to go, but we have to look over the desserts here. It's not a full restaurant review without trying some dessert. They have some fried churros and ice cream there, a Mexican choco flan, cuatro leches, and then a cafe de olla. Did I say that right? I don't know, guys. The cafe de olla sounds good, and it's served pressed tableside, which really intrigues me. But I did already have coffee. I had espresso and the espresso martini here, which I still have a little bit left. I got to finish this up. so good. And then there's also the the chocolate flan is amazing. I had that, they had a Valentine's Day menu in the Mexico Pavilion, and they served the chocolate flan with that. I would assume it's the same. If it's not the same, it might be similar, and that choco flan was amazing. So I think it should be good here too. All right, so here we have the Mexican Choco Flan. This is a dense abuelita chocolate cake stacked with creamy vanilla flan, topped with a caramel sauce for $14. I did have this dessert here not too long ago when I did the Valentine's Day menu over in the Mexico Pavilion. I didn't post a YouTube video of it, but I posted a TikTok and an Instagram reel, so make sure you're following me over there. And I fell in love with this dessert when I tried the Valentine's menu over in the Mexico Pavilion. So I was so excited when I saw it on the menu here because I wanted to show you guys this dessert and tell you guys how good it is. Oh yeah, we've got our spoonful full of chocolate cake and flan. The best way I could describe this chocolate cake, it kind of tastes like this is a compliment, the Chili's chocolate molten cake. It tastes better and higher quality for sure. But again, that's a compliment because I love Chili's chocolate molten cake, and the cake that actually comes in the molten cake is delicious, and that's kind of what it tastes like. It's like you wouldn't think that the chocolate cake in this dessert would be that good, but honestly, like, I love the flan on top and I think it's all delicious together, but the chocolate cake is like the best part in my opinion. Absolutely to die for. And I was told that this kind of dessert is really hard to master. It's hard to like bake the chocolate cake perfectly and layer it with the flan. Whatever they're doing here, they've got it down pat. This is delicious. Well, folks, we are finished up with dinner at the Maya Grill, and I've got to be honest, I knew this was going to be a hidden gem restaurant, but I didn't know how good the new menu was going to be. I mean, that was fantastic. I mean, I genuinely enjoyed every single thing that I tried. Both the drinks, amazing. Both the apps, amazing. My entree, I mean, that pork al pastor ossobuco was incredible. Like, that makes this restaurant destination worthy, in my opinion. I am telling you guys, whether you're staying at Coronado or not, I'd come here to try that dish. Really, it was one of the best things I have eaten maybe this year. I loved it so much, and I'm so happy I have so much to take home because those are going to be some good leftovers. Maya Grill is a hidden gem restaurant. A lot of you guys are sleeping on it, I think, and honestly, I was too until now. I will definitely be back very soon, and maybe they'll get some new menu items even after this, and I will have to come back to try them out. A lot of you guys are going to Toledo, to Three Bridges, but I'm telling you, add Maya Grill to the rotation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. Thank you for all of your support, and if you're not already and you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.